I married my boyfriend. Hi, actually, I'm 29 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I married my boyfriend at 25 because I got pregnant. But I knew we were not compatible. I dreamed of a husband who would be my best friend. But my husband gets very busy and our routine is really just food, money, sex, and sleep. I don't really have friends. And oh my goodness, this is really sad. I can imagine this kind of situation.
Yeah.
I don't have friends around or at work. And my sister, who's really close to me, has been busy with school too. I'm exhausted. I really want to leave, but my mother says I should manage and stay for the sake of my daughter, especially because I don't have a good reason. I'm really exhausted. I don't know what to do at this point. Should I stay just for my child and forget my happiness? Let me take the story again so it sinks in, all right? Hi, I'm 29 years old. I married my boyfriend at 25 because I got pregnant, but I knew we were not compatible. I dreamed of a husband who would be my best friend. But my husband gets very busy, and our routine is really just food, money, sex, and sleep. I don't really have friends around or at work, and my sister, who's really close to me, has been busy with school too. I'm exhausted. I really want to leave, but my mother says I should manage and stay for the sake of our daughter, especially because I don't have a good reason.
Oh my God.
I'm really exhausted. I don't know what to do at this point. Should I really stay just for my child and forget my happiness? So here we have it.
Oh my God.
A situation of a young lady who got married at 29 simply because she got pregnant, knowing full well that she and her partner aren't compatible. Just imagine the situation. Now, it's always that your husband, your partner is busy at work, and so you're left all alone, and you don't have friends at home, no friends at work. The only sister who should
You
be
have as your best friend
is
though.
busy with school too.
Right. I feel like there's so much to unpack.
This is a lot. This is a lot.
And
for
I
one
feel like we have like a
person.
list of things we need to address.
Yes.
So we have the fact that she got pregnant and she got married. And then
my
we have the
gosh.
fact that she and her partner they have never been compatible. And then we have the issue of the fact that she doesn't have friends. And then we have the issue of the fact that she hoped that her husband would be her best friend.
my
And then we have the
gosh.
issue of the fact that she feels like our husband or a child should be one of the reasons she should consider staying back in a marriage where she's not
that's of her
feeling
mother as
very
well.
happy. And that's a mother's perspective. So we have different issues we need to unpack in this one conversation.
That's right, guys.
It's up to everybody at this point because it's not something that it just Amanda and I would be able to tell you how she should do or tell her what to do. It seems as though we would need everybody's input on this one.
Honestly, we do. We don't know it all here.
Which is why we're going to be opening the phone lines
Right
as
about
early
now.
as possible.
See, right about now.
And we'll remind you again that we're streaming on Facebook
Go
at
on there.
Splash FM 105.5 Ibadan. Splash FM 105.5 Ibadan. Please come in and be a part of this conversation because there's actually so much
To unpack here. It's not a one size fits all situation.
No, this
It's
one seems
different
like
angles.
it's unique, and it also seems as though it's something that we cannot all say we've not seen around us. It is
Exactly.
something, or it's an issue that I have, heard a lot about. I've seen on social media a few times. So this is not one I would even say that I've never heard this before. This is one I would say I've heard before.
Yes, because it's
And-
pregnancy. There's that of mother saying, you know what, you cannot leave. You're married, endure, stay in the marriage.
And then there's the routine.
That's
And then
exactly.
there's the idea that I thought I was going to have a dream man that would be my best friend, that would be my all in all,
now it's not what it is.
Because I would like to think that the reason she's saying that she doesn't have friends, she doesn't keep friends, no friends at work, no friends in the neighborhood, no friends at home, would mean that to a reasonable extent she might have trust issues. And it might have come from an experience she's had with friends. Because I find that a lot of people who say, oh, they don't keep close friends, they don't have best friends. I mean, I say I don't have best friends. Like, I always say, nah, I'm not a best friend kind of person. So I feel like in some situations when people say that, oh, I don't have close friends, I don't want any best friend, it's really born out of the fact that they've been burned before. Or they really never got used to the idea of having friends. So she's saying that her only close friend is her sister, and now she's in school. So I'm thinking somebody younger
Exactly.
than her. So there's so much.
And then, of course, there's that of the mother. Now, of
Now, the
course,
pressure from the mom
Now,
to
let me say that a lot of times our mothers always handed us the tool of, oh, please stay in the marriage. You don't want to leave. You have children.
Yeah.
You don't want to go out there. There's a lot of things that people might be saying about you. You got married when you were 25 because you were pregnant, and now you're leaving your husband's house. Look, back in the day, our parents, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say it without mincing words. Our mothers were made to stay in marriages to survive, not to be fulfilled. That's it. Stay in there to survive because you're a woman, and it's a woman's responsibility to stay in marriages or stay in her marriage and keep the home together, regardless of what she's going through, because the society's out there waiting for you, waiting to laugh at you and criticize you and curse you out because you left your marriage. And that's the tools that they hand us. They tell you, you know what, stay. They say this out of fear. It's not necessarily what's really good for you, but your mother is saying this because she's scared. How would you survive out there with a child? How would you manage your life?
young one, at that.
Exactly. You're only 29 years old. What will people say? As a woman that you are, see, I don't want that kind of situation. I don't want anybody to laugh at me and my daughter, because they will laugh at me and say, your child couldn't stay in her marriage. Your child couldn't stay with her husband. And that's going to be a stigma on the family.
Now, while I
There's
would...
that.
Okay, there's that. And I think I just want to interject quickly.
All right.
So, while I'm not trying to rule out the fact that the mom might be projecting, and projecting here might even be based on two things. It might be that the mom has such a very great marriage. Because when we say that, our past, some of our mothers, they endured. Some of our mothers did not endure. They enjoyed, and they're still enjoying
their marriages.
There's that. But yes, I know that, of course, a mom who also didn't have the best of marriages can also be projecting like, oh, this is something that I didn't have. Now, you have a shot at having it at this young age. I don't want you to lose this and now regret. Now, while I'm not trying to say that, oh, the mom is not projecting, I will still look at the angle of, like somebody has just said on Facebook, the mom has an experience to a reasonable extent. So if a mom says that you don't have a good reason, it would mean, in my opinion, that the mom has seen so much. So for you to now come and say that, okay, the reason you're leaving or you're considering leaving your husband is because, or is that your husband doesn't sit with you to do small talks, or he does the food, money, sex routine. So apart from the food, money, sex, and what else?
There's more. There's I get it. Now,
somebody says that there's no money. You could have easily said, oh, he's not paying the bills. So a man that pays the bills, a man that comes home to sleep at home, you're still struggling.
To me, I know, I get that, but come on. Saying that a guy pays the bills, he comes home to sleep with you, and all that and that is not enough to just keep a marriage. It's not enough to make somebody feel fulfilled, because this is a lady complaining about exhaustion. This is a lady complaining about feeling alone. Did you know that you could be with someone and still feel alone?
Yes, I do.
So we cannot rule out the fact that her feelings are valid.
Oh, definitely.
Her feelings are very legitimate. Her feelings should be there, because this is someone complaining and saying, you know what, sometimes I feel like, I am exhausted. I am not compatible with my partner. Trust me, there are a lot of people who have married out of, just because I got pregnant, because that's like the major one of the reasons why she got married to the person. I'm pregnant, I got married to this person. They didn't have any relationships with the person. They don't really know the person that well. They're not even compatible. So these alone cannot be fixed by a person who provides.
Okay.
So a person can feel alone. They can feel like this is not their life. Like you're living a life and you feel like it's not yours. It's not what you really want. The dream man that I've always wanted. I mean, you cannot rule out friendship. Somebody wants a partner as much as, we are talking about all of these things that could be happening and going wrong, foundation not right, she should look at herself. Her happiness still matters. And that's why I'm going to say that, if all of this don't work, because then again, you don't want to stay in a marriage where
you
aren't happy, no matter what you've done, no matter what you've tried, no matter how much you've put in effort to make it work. So you need to ask yourself, I was thinking about this to me, I said it to you, I said she needs to ask herself, in 5-10 years from now, what does it look like for me? Would I want to resign from this? Would I be filled with
something
resentment?
I think I can deal with?
Right, real quick.
So this one says that unfortunately, you may never get the romance you dream of from particular people, and they're not even intentionally holding out. It is just a huge difference in your personalities. It is easy to frame everything through the lens of emotional trauma or attachment style. And while that can explain a lot, it doesn't explain everything. Some differences aren't wounds or defenses. It is just their personality, nature. Some people simply don't have certain traits you're looking for, and trying to extract that from them will just leave you feeling drained, feeling disappointed, and possibly resentful over time. You are who you are, and they are who they are. Relationships require compromise, yes, but they also require compatibility. Love is about accepting people's natural pace, natural tendencies, and expressions, but only if those things actually work for you. Sometimes they do not. Sometimes your version of love looks nothing like theirs. Sometimes what you crave in connection, like humor, conversation, charm, expression, attentiveness, is not something they can be, because it is not just their personality. So if you're someone who values playfulness and lightness, being with someone who is dry or serious can make you feel like you're doing too much or your light is dimming. If you love these conversations and they struggle to go beyond surface level, you may start to feel emotionally malnourished. If romantic gestures and verbal connection are important to you and they're more reserved than practical, you may constantly feel overlooked because this is not how they naturally express care. The mistake many people make in these situations is taking it personally. As if their partner is choosing not to show up in the way they need. Sometimes it is just a mismatch. Just like you wouldn't fault a quiet person for not being the life of the party, you can't fault someone for not being the grand romantic, the emotionally expressive one, or the person who sends voice notes and flowers just because. They are how they are, and the kind of connection you want might never come naturally to them. Compatibility is about whether the way you love feels good and sustainable to both of you. It doesn't make them a bad person, and that they can be what you need and want at times. And it doesn't make you too much. But it does mean that what you might want might simply not exist in them. And trying to extract it will only leave you with a hollow version of love. Only where you're always hoping they will eventually become someone they've never been. But also when you're making them feel inadequate too. That's the thing. Inadequacies. That's how I was saying that she was pointing out inadequacies. This is how people end up feeling like they're too needy or they expect too much, when in reality, they're just not with someone who meets them in the emotional language that they speak. I feel like, I still have more. Let me see if I can finish it.
I couldn't agree with this more.
I'm trying to be very fast. So she said, you could also accidentally make someone feel like they're lacking or broken when they might be perfect for someone else who doesn't need what you need. Compatibility is not about changing each other. It is about recognizing when it just does not fit and having the courage to stop blaming yourselves or each other for it. Go where you are emotionally aligned. Not where you're constantly having to translate your needs or explain what should come naturally. There's someone out there who already speaks your language.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Clock it. This is it. To me, honestly, this is all we've been trying to say.
I mean, to cap it off.
Jeez. I said it.
Oh my
we
God.
said it from the beginning.